Hi, this is Marcus Pulis, and this is Aquarian Anarchy. Welcome back. I took the week off last week and didn't cover things because I've been working very hard as within my position with Adam Kokesh's campaign, and I went to the First Church of Cannabis. I had all kinds of fun. But I was very busy and was not able to film that week. This week, that is not the case. I am quite not busy, almost the exact opposite. And largely for the same reason that other people are sitting at home right now and those kinds of things. I want to encourage you to like, share, and go to my store and get yourself a t-shirt, those kinds of things, to support my work here with Aquarian Anarchy. So I want to go ahead and dive into this week's story. And is there any other story right now than the coronavirus? The answer is no. COVID-19 dominates everything, and the reactions to that dominate everything. So this week I'm talking about the government flu. F.A. Hayek said, quote, "Emergencies have always been the pretext on which the safeguards of individual liberty have eroded. Across the country, people are scared, people are confused, and trapped in their homes against their will." I'm not trying to say that there's nothing going on. I'm not trying to say that there isn't a virus that you can get that might make you sick, that if you have a compromised immunity that it might even kill you. I'm not trying to say any of that. What I am trying to say is that the reaction by government is an overreaction, and they are locking things down. On this channel, I like to laugh a lot, and I like to have fun with the news and those kinds of things. And I'm guessing that this week, there's not going to be a lot of that. So I apologize for those that are used to me making fun of the news instead of just reporting. This week, it's a serious time, and so that calls for serious measures. That doesn't mean you should be afraid. Do not be afraid. The reaction of government is causing fear, and it is intentional, and it is for control. I'm not saying don't go to your house. I'm not saying don't stay in your home. If you are sick, stay home. That should be duh. That's what any sane human being does when they get sick, especially in a time when there is something that is flooding everywhere. So do that. What I have a problem with is government forcing that. We have a right to assemble. We have a right to movement. We have a right to free speech. And those things are being attacked using this virus. So to start off with, I wanted to cover why. And the link will be below. Recently on Facebook, I reshared a picture from a friend of mine, NYT-Timeline, who basically just clicked and pasted a picture from the World Health Organization showing the comparison of day-to-day deaths due to a variety of diseases, including coronavirus. And coronavirus had like 50 some. There are thousands of people right now, every day, dying from tuberculosis. And that comparison is important. Again, came straight from the World Health Organization and the CDC. Yet, on Facebook, they put a cover on it and said partly false information. This is from the World Health Organization, or the CDC. So this is why people are becoming confused. They don't know what is real. They don't know what is true. By controlling the media, just like they did in China, just like they did in years ago, in both Russia and in all of these tyrannical dictatorships, Controlling the media and controlling the information has made none of the information reliable. So we don't know what to do as individuals. And they are, and I think that is intentional partly because they're trying to be the only place that we can go to get information and be the only place to find some kind of stability as the state, when in all reality they're causing more problems, as they always do, than they solve, by controlling the information, by making it impossible to know what you should do. People are freaking out and starving, possibly, and at least not eating as they should, because of not being able to go out to stores, not being able to get out of their homes because they're afraid. We should not rely on a centralized power miles away to take care of us, to help us. If we need government, it should be in your town and county and local area so that you can get exactly what you need. Even Trump has admitted that in a tweet. So what do we know? We don't know what we know because government is controlling the information. Meanwhile, the state is jumping up and down to control freedom of speech, freedom of movement, freedom of assembly. Everywhere we go, they're locking everything down. Where are the people that said, I will not put up with this? Where are you at? I'm telling you I'm not putting up with this. I'm going out and I am expressing myself right here, right now, and I don't give a damn what they say. Because I'm giving you the truth as I see it. I'm giving you articles. I'm giving you proof. I'm showing you what I can find to try to give you some information. And also to try to show you that you should not be afraid, that a lot of this is an illusion, and a lot of it is nothing more than a power grab from a tyrannical government. So, to start with, I have an article that I will get a vast majority of what I talked about. It's an excellent article by ABC. I'm all about not getting all of your information from mainstream media, but this one's got a lot of good information in it, so I'm going to cover it. So this is from ABC. Coronavirus shuts down major cities. Trump asks Americans to avoid groups of over 10 people. So you can't get together with more than 10 people? I mean, I live in Indiana, and as well as helping Adam, I'm also helping Donald Rainwater, who is running for governor in Indiana. And I went to a meeting last night at a friend of ours, Jeff's house. And we had a conversation, and there were around 8 people there. Had I brought my wife and daughter, we wouldn't have been able to have anybody else. So, of course, they're controlling it, because the more people get together and the more they talk, the more they realize that this is all bullcrap, and they need to ignore the panic. It is something to react to. It is something to be proactive and try to help your health. I bought orange juice, for God's sake, to build up more of my immune system. I am investing in looking at herbal things that I can take to up my immune system, because China shut down and a lot of our medicines come from China. So be prepared for sure. Absolutely. I have extra groceries in my house right now because of all of this panic. It isn't really because of the disease that I'm preparing. It's because of the idiocy that they are causing, that is covering up the danger instead of actually reacting and doing something proactively to help individuals. So, major cities are shutting down restaurants, bars, gyms, schools to try to stop the spread of the coronavirus, which has killed at least 85 people in the United States. So 85 people, that's awful, 85. Someone said this is a rounding error for what kills people of the flu every single year. the panic is not warranted. This is not that bad of a disease. It is not going to kill hundreds of thousands of people tomorrow. We're going into a warmer season. It will likely pass. Maybe next year we'll have another season people will get it. That's how diseases work. And they're relying on an uninformed populace to freak out and panic so that they can have their virtual martial law and police state. And they're rolling out things like Mitt Romney talking about giving every American $1,000. They aren't even playing with socialism anymore. They are absolutely employing it. And the conservatives are jumping up and down. This is a control of everything in your economy as the economy falls to pieces. But I'll get into that in a minute. Globally, there are more than 181,580 coronavirus cases and more than 7,130 deaths. This is in 3 months. This is a lot of people, for sure. Compare it to car accidents. Compare it to the flu. Compare it to the people that just die because they're old. It is not that big of a deal. You start talking about a month's time and we've lost 1 million people, yeah, you might want to worry about that. But 7,000 people in 3 months? A little bit of an overreaction, don't you think? According to the data compiled by the Center for Systems Science and Engineering at Johns Hopkins, Monday's biggest developments. Trump asked Americans to avoid restaurants, groups, and more than 10. This is on Tuesday that I'm filming this, so this is from Monday. Residents must shelter in place in Northern California. Italy death toll climbs to 2,000. Canada bans foreigners from entering. So the justice, this is in the same article. It's subdivided, several different things that they covered within the same article. I think that is really good. It was extremely useful to understand. Justice Department cracking down on COVID-19 scams. Now, this is important. This is the Justice Department using its power to cut down on other people talking about the coronavirus. Other people talking about it. They're going to shut it down. This is no different than what they did in China. The Attorney General is directing states to prioritize the prosecution of scammers, fraudsters, and cyber criminals looking to exploit the COVID-19 crisis. Quote, the pandemic is dangerous enough without wrongdoers seeking to profit from the public panic, and this sort of conduct cannot be tolerated. They don't even define what any of that means. Likely, it will mean anyone that disagrees with how they're handling it. Anyone who uses their First Amendment protections to say, you're being stupid, they're going to accuse them of working against the public good. And they've got to be arrested and stopped. U.S. Attorney General William Barr wrote in a memo sent to U.S. attorneys' offices around the country Monday evening, every U.S. attorney's office is thus hereby directed to prioritize detection, investigation, prosecution of criminal conduct related to the current pandemic. Okay, don't you think that helping people might be a little better way to put your money and resources? Don't you think that maybe people that are freaking out and go do something stupid might be a better place to put your money instead of shutting people up? Don't you think that it might be good to help people instead of control people? Don't you think? No, they don't, because government doesn't know how to be effective. They have no idea what to do, how to do it, and to what end to do it. All they think about is control and absolutely stuffing and using every bit of this for their own gain. Quote, so the memo also asks U.S. attorneys to work with the chief judges in their districts to ensure that every appropriate precaution is taken to protect the health of those who practice in or are called before our courts. In other words, make sure that we keep our courts going. We got to get them potheads all thrown in jail where they can catch a goddamn virus and all die. How stupid are these people? We gotta keep it going. Gotta keep it going. It'd be different if they were out there seeking out murderers and rapists and burglars, but they'd be seeking their own. And we can't have that. Quote, "It is vital that we work together to safeguard our justice system and thus safety and security of our nation." Is it that weak? Is it that weak that something that is not nearly as dangerous as 10 to 20 different major viruses, not nearly as dangerous, might just shut down our justice system? How weak is this system that you are so connected to that a little bit of cold can take it all out and just shut her down? Look at the reality, people. The reality is this is bull, and they're using it for control, but they're going to take it too far. So on to another section of the article. Residents must shelter in place in Northern California. All residents are being ordered to shelter at home in 6 countries. Go to your room. There are 6 counties in San Francisco area. Go to your room. You've been bad. You got this whole freedom thing. We know that's bad. You go to your room. Fuck you. I do not obey, and I will not obey orders. Now, I might suggest that my friend stay at his house because he's got a cold. It might be a good idea for him not to spread that to everybody else. I can suggest that all day long. Now, if I point a gun to his head and take him to his house, that is unethical and that is wrong, and that is what they're doing. They are using force and violence to restrain people and imprison them in their own homes. Travel must be limited to only essential needs of the 3 weeks beginning March 17 in these different counties. So they're restricting the freedom of movement. You cannot move in this country. How is this not tyranny? Tell me. I want to know. You got to stay at your house. You can't talk. And you can't go moving anywhere. You can't get a bunch of people together at your house either. How is that not tyranny? How is that not? I want to know. Tell me. Tell me how this is the land of the free and the home of the brave. Tell me that. Show me. I want to know. I want to see it. Because I ain't seeing it. It's not there. Because we are not free. We are being enslaved. And they are rolling out hard tyranny. This is it, people. Stop. Stand up. Say no. Now, I don't know how to do that. I'm just speaking. It's what I can do. I'm going to live on my life. I'm going to love my wife. I'm going to continue to talk about freedom. Because this will pass. And this will pass relatively soon. So they go on. Temporary, he says, I'm scared how coronavirus is delivering a double blow for older Americans. Right. Older Americans are going to have a bad time. Stay home. For sure. Telling you, stay home. I'm healthy. I'm a little fat. But I'm healthy. I should be allowed to do things. Because I'm a human being and I have natural rights. Quote, temporarily changing our routine is absolutely necessary to slow the spread of the pandemic. Santa Clara County Public Health Officer Dr. Sarah Cody said in the statement, oh, really? That worked real well in China, didn't it? No, it didn't. Because it's not how it works. This is an airborne disease. It's going to have to run its course. Just like they do with the economy, they're trying to do it with this virus. You can't control it. I hate to tell you, you just can't. It's going to do what it's going to do. It's going to spread, and it's going to get into those nooks and crannies because that's what viruses do. So, temporarily changing our routine is absolutely necessary to slow the spread of this pandemic. Health officers from the largest jurisdiction in San Francisco Bay Area are united, and we are taking this step together to offer the best protection to our respective communities. I'll bet. It is not complete social shutdown. Oh, sorry, just partial, just mostly. There's a couple things you can do. You can get on Netflix. What are you talking? Get on your computer. Play on Facebook. Have fun. Meanwhile, we have got to progress. There's got to be, we can't just shut down everything. Food doesn't just show up. I know that some people think that it does. Your supermarket, they don't just appear on the table. That's not how it works. People go to work. People travel from one state to another to deliver food. And if you can't move, and you can't gather, and you can't do all that, how the hell are you going to get your food? How is it going to be brought to you? Because the American people certainly don't know how to grow it anymore. Because they're too busy on Facebook, or they're too busy messing around getting it at the store instead of learning the skills that they need to take care of themselves. They have learned to take advantage of major corporations and government, which hold hands, shake hands, and love each other as they rip you off. So, the Department of Health and Human Services experienced suspicious cyber activity Sunday night. Oh, now we're going to shut down the internet and control it. Yay! That's a great idea because we've got attacked over this. Have you noticed? They're getting everything. Everything they want. They're getting ready to shut down the internet. They're getting ready to shut everything down and control it. We're going to have social credit scores soon. Sunday night, related to the coronavirus response, administration source confirmed to ABC News Monday. The suspicious activity, HHS, was not a hack, but it may have been a distributed denial of service, or a DDoS attack, according to multiple sources. Again, they're going to use that as a pretext to shut down the internet, shut your access. You can just go here, you can just go there. You can't go here or there or the other place. And remember, they're going to come after you if you say anything against them. How is this not tyranny? How is this not tyranny? Oh, it's a disease. Mark, you just know. This is just a disease. And you're just overreacting. They're going to return things just right back. Yeah, Milton Friedman said there's nothing more permanent than a temporary government program. They don't roll shit back. They just don't. Look at how many times the Patriot Act's been re-upped and re-upped and re-upped and re-upped, and they're going to continue it because it's useful. So, major airlines could be bankrupt by the end of the new year without action. Industry group warns. The distinction is important because there are no apparent breach of the HHS system which could interfere in the critical function and lead agencies, blah, 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 blah. So that's going to go down. So the Supreme Court, so they attacked them. Then the airlines are going to go out of business. Then Supreme Court postpones March arguments. Supreme Court's not hearing a bunch of crap, including the U.S. Supreme Court has taken the extraordinary step of postponing oral arguments. So our court system that they were just talking about that needs to maintain. Now they're going to maintain that, make sure you can't go buy weed, but they're not going to make sure that the people needing held accountable in Washington, D.C. are held accountable. No, we'll let that slide. So, U.S. Supreme Court has taken the extraordinary step of postponing oral arguments for more than a dozen cases, including 3 involving subpoenas for President Donald Trump's financial records. So they're not going to hold any of them assholes into control for sure. They're just going to hold you. They're just coming after you. They're going to make sure that our legal system works. And cops are still arresting people, throwing them in prison for meaningless bullshit, but the people that are actually ripping you off, they aren't going to do a goddamn thing about it. Don't worry, we covered it a couple weeks ago. If they do arrest them, they'll let them out and pardon them anyway. So that's what's coming your way, ain't it joyous? Aren't you glad that everybody's got the sniffles? So yeah, this makes me angry. It makes me mad. I'm not laughing. I want to be laughing. I do. I want to chuckle. I want to have fun. I want to get back to just making fun of these idiots because they're doing stupid stuff. This stupid stuff is impacting my family, impacting your family, impacting the world. Trade temporarily halted as markets plummet despite Fed intervention. Despite the Fed pumping all kinds of goddamn money out and causing the prices of shit to inflate. What do you know? It didn't fucking work. There's a big shock. It never works. All it does is inflate the prices. It never works. Trading on Wall Street was temporarily halted after markets plunged early Monday as the outbreak continues to upend businesses and travel across the world because they've shut them down. They neglect to mention the reason the businesses are having problems because somebody got a cold and they shut the whole damn thing down. 80-some people went and bam, the whole country shut down. I'm off a month because somebody had a cold. Not even anywhere near me. Not anywhere. I don't know a single human being with this virus. Not one. But because somebody in my state, one person, now 2, has gotten it and died, presto, we got to shut her down. The Dow Jones Industrial Average plummeted from more than 2,250 points or 9.7% just after trading began. The S&P 500 fell more than 8%, triggering a circuit breaker halt of 15 minutes. The major sell-off comes even after the Federal Reserve made a surprise announcement on Sunday that it's slashing interest rates to nearly zero and spending $700 billion to buy Treasury and mortgage bonds to help buoy the economy during the coronavirus pandemic. You can't spend fake money on nothing. Of course, prices are going to go up. You're going to see the prices of everything just skyrocket because this is supply and demand and no one's working. We'll just give everybody $1,000 and the prices will move up to match. It infuriates me, not because I don't get that most people aren't interested in this stuff, but it infuriates me that people buy it, that they don't think for 2 seconds. Oh, there's people about, they're going to give us $1,000 and to get a month off from work. I don't care to work. Do I want to go to work every single day? Well, hell no. I just know how reality works. And after a time, somebody's got to do some stuff because that's how it works. Can you make a television? I can't make a television. I don't know how to do it. I can't make a television. Not only can I not make a television, I can't transport it from where I made it. I can't make glass. I can't make metal. I can't make plastic. I don't know how to do any of that crap to put one together. And other people do. And if they're not showing up to work, I can't get a TV. much less have one brought to me. I can drive a truck. I do have a license to do that. But, if there ain't no TVs to go get, everything, this isn't Star Trek yet. Things don't materialize in a little box at the store and they take it out and put it out on the shelf. People have to move and people have to go to work and people have to that's how an economy works. So just put it into perspective. You're going to not have things very soon. And you can say, oh, but you're just worried about yourself. No, I'll be just fine. I've been preparing for this crap for years. I'll be okay. Now, I don't want to be okay. I don't want to eat a can of beans for today. I don't want that to be my dinner, lunch, and breakfast. That sounds crappy. I like Indian food. I would like to have Indian. I would like to have pizza. I would like to have Mexican food. But if I gotta, plain spaghetti will work. Ramen noodles will make it through the day. I don't want to have to do that. Do you have that kind of food in your home? How about water? How's your water situation? So I'm worried about you. I'm worried about the people out there that aren't as prepared as I am. I'm worried about government coming in and kicking my door down because I believe in self-ownership. I'm worried about those things. And I'm not just invisible. They have no doubt. There is no doubt in my mind. They know where I stand. There is no doubt in my mind that I'm a target. And I am not dangerous. I just believe in freedom. And it is crazy that we have to worry about these things. To move on. This event shows that whether or not the state is doing the right thing or not, they have been completely ineffective and unprepared. This virus is not as bad as many other viruses such as Ebola, yet government is more interested in controlling the people than helping them. As an example, as they should. Roche, who makes the test to find out if you have coronavirus, just started rolling out that test. Just now. Okay? Roche has a huge facility located in Indiana, and yet the lead time to get people tested in Indiana is weeks. It's here. This is where the tests are going to be made. Literally, I could walk to this place, literally, and get there by the end of the day. Could walk. I'm a fat ass. I could walk myself there in a day. It is not 20 miles away from my house. Yet in Indiana, 4 weeks. Up to 4 weeks until you can get a test. How does that make any damn sense? We are told that in an emergency, put the gas mask on yourself, put oxygen on yourself, then help other people. Don't you think it would be wise? Don't you think that it would be smart that the people that are making the tests, that are over there putting it together, might want to be tested? Maybe. Might be a good idea that the people making the tests don't have the disease. Don't you think that might be smart in Indiana? But they're not doing what is smart. They're doing what is centrally located. They're using centralized power to make horrible mistakes because they don't care. They know this is bullcrap. And they are just controlling people and just controlling the narrative and just saying, see, we took care of it. We've got Roche on it. So, moving on. All of this in a situation that started December 31st. December 31st. First major cases. It is March 17th as I film this. I will include below the timeline from the New York Times of the development of the disease, of the virus, where it's gone, what it's done. If they cannot combat a virus that is spread naturally, and I get that this may be a man-made virus. I get it. It may have been a weapon that got released either by the Chinese government or our government. I mean, hell, they accused us of it. So I get it. I get this isn't just any old virus that rose up out of nowhere. I get it. But it has organically moved. You know, it's spread just like it would spread as it goes out. Okay? That's it. Where it started, it moved organically. Okay? So it spread naturally. How the hell can any government be trusted to protect us from a biological attack if some other country decided to take a contagion and put it in the United States? How the hell could any government, ours or another, try to argue that they could fight it? They have had a colossal failure with months. Can you imagine what they would be doing with days? How horribly bad they would do if it was days? They haven't been able to handle this in months. Can you imagine if somebody strapped it on a boat, threw it over here, and it came into New York Harbor as a weapon? Can you imagine how they wouldn't be able to handle that? How absolutely inept they are. How absolutely unprepared government is. And they expect you to trust them. They expect you to go on believe that they're going to take care of you. Taking care of you isn't the goal. I don't need taking care of. I am an adult. I take care of myself. The idea of government, which I completely disagree with, but the idea is that they are there to safeguard your life and safeguard your rights. They are failing at doing that because the first thing they do when they did not safeguard your health was take away any rights that you had. All of them gone. Illinois is talking about taking guns. All as a reaction to this one thing. It's like they're on Christmas morning. Government's like, yay, what'd you get me? Yay, a police state. You know? So no government is there to protect you. That's not what they're trying to do. If they have any intention of doing so at all, they are awful at doing it. Those are just the facts. They also have pushed other news into the darkness. So I want to cover some of that. These are going to be related. And the final ones, you're going to have to do a lot of your looking up yourself. But I wanted to cover a few things that they covered in the past week that are being covered up by this particular story. One, this is one that's important to me because I think it should be important across the country. So, Chelsea Manning has been ordered released. Chelsea Manning case. Judge orders release from prison. Former U.S. Army intelligence officer Chelsea Manning. Sorry, I lost my place. An analyst and WikiLeaks source Chelsea Manning has been released from prison. Manning was remanded for refusing to testify in an inquiry to WikiLeaks. She had been held in detention center in Virginia since last May. She was scheduled to appear in court on Friday, but the judge ruled that it was no longer necessary for her to testify because they got him. Manning was found guilty in 2013 of charges including espionage or for leaking secret military files to WikiLeaks. She got arrested for telling the truth. She accrued more than $250,000 in fines for refusing to cooperate. That's right, they charged her $250,000. What do you think chances she's got that just laying around? Been in prison since 2013. Got it laying around, $250,000. In fines for refusing to cooperate with her inquiry. Her legal team had asked for these to be vacated, but the judge said they must be paid in full. Of course he did. Get on out. We got another reason to pull you back because you didn't pay us. You owe us $250,000. What are you thinking, Chelsea? Of course they're doing that. Manning, 32, refused to answer further questions about WikiLeaks from investigators because she said she had already given her testimony during the 2013 trial. Her release order on Thursday came shortly after her legal team said she had tried to take her own life and was recovering in a hospital. I don't believe any of that. She did not try to kill herself. She said multiple times she's not going to try to kill herself. They tried to Jeffrey Epstein her. It is. So that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to Jeffrey Epstein her, and so she managed to live. Good for her. She's a hero and should be touted as such. And one of the reasons they're trying to make her out that she tried to kill herself is because they want to paint her as weak. They want to divide her people that support her away from her. Police confirmed there was an incident involving Manning at the detention center in Virginia on Wednesday afternoon. It was handled appropriately by our professional staff, and she is safe, a police statement said. Manning leaked hundreds of thousands of secret U.S. military files relating to the Afghan war to WikiLeaks in 2010. She was sentenced to 35 years in prison, but former President Barack Obama commuted the rest of her sentence in 2017. U.S. prosecutors have been investigating WikiLeaks for several years. Again, going after the freedom of press, going after newspapers, making sure that you better be towing the line and be nothing more than propaganda, or we're going to come after you. From UK and his alleged role in the 2010 release of classified military and diplomatic material, Australian-born Assange faces new charges of conspiracy to commit computer intrusion in the United States. So he's not a U.S. citizen. We can dive into that some other time. But they let Chelsea go. Good. Still going to try to get her on money, and I bet you they throw her back in jail. But at least for now, she's out. So other things that have been covered up. I'll leave you to investigate these issues on your own. But to get you started, these are the things that are being hidden by the quarantine. Congress is attempting to pass a law that will effectively end end-to-end encryption on communication programs or platforms. Interesting. Getting rid of encryption so they can break into anything. Not that they already can't, but make it a whole lot easier. Second person was cured of HIV in the UK. Might want to know about that. Disease that kills more people than the coronavirus is they may have found a cure. You'd think that'd be all over the newspapers. Nope. New dinosaur the size of Hummingbird was found. Harvey Weinstein was found guilty and will die in jail. Good for him, Harvey. Good job being a scumbag that actually came to justice. Too little, too late, and he's not effective anymore. So, my guess is he was threatening to do something that they didn't want him to do, so they arrested his ass. So, there's a plague of locusts about to tear through Africa. Africans might want to know about that. I don't know. 2 American, 1 British soldiers killed in Iraq. The U.S. is currently responding. So 3 people died. They're responding with massive airstrikes in Afghanistan. Don't forget, recently, I'm going to go back a little bit. We had a 3-day peace treaty. Hey! Woo! Full up and bombs. Get them out! We got to get the bombs started again. So they can't just roll out that like a week later bombs started falling. Hell no. We got to pretend like we solved that so that some idiot can tell me on Facebook, we pulled them out of Afghanistan. So, yeah. So, massive airstrikes. Russian parliament passes a reform allowing Putin to stay president until 2036. Interesting. Wonder if they're going to do something similar here and make Trump the dictator for life. Did it in Russia. Why can't they do it here? Don't give me this is land of the free. We just talked about they took freedom of speech away, freedom of assembly. They're getting ready to take guns away. They're going to, all that crap that we talk about, the Constitution, that absolutely means nothing anymore. The people just wipe their nose in their ass with while they're on coronavirus because everybody bought the toilet paper. That document, the Constitution, does not matter. And they have made it clear that it does not matter. It says you have the right to assemble. You have the right to free speech. You have the right. All this stuff says it right there. You can read it. Looky here, this is where it says it. And they're doing it anyway because government doesn't give a shit about your document. They don't give a shit about your Constitution. They do not give a fuck. Is it a good document? Sure, governments are bad. It's a great document. It'd be great if the government gave a shit about it. But they don't. And they never have. And they never will. So there's an asteroid that's going to fly by the Earth. Oil price war between Russia and Saudi Arabia started. That's interesting. I'm not noticing a big, change in prices at the pump, but what that does, I want to dive into this just a little bit. What that does is when Russia and Saudi Arabia are fighting and the prices go way low, it takes a certain amount of price for all that oil that we're getting out of shale and all that. Takes a bunch of money to do that. And if the price dips too low, we can't do that. Unless we've got a big disease that everybody's distracted about. Woo! And then the prices can stay the same and we can go ahead and just keep doing it. Just to keep making our buddies money. Noticing how this works yet? It's distraction. Dengue fever cases going up and being overlooked because of less deadly coronavirus. So the real diseases are going ahead and getting worse. Because we're all looking at some stupid shit that does not matter. Yay! So those are my stories for this week. Commentary. Government is showing themselves for exactly what they are. All of them. Every one. There is not a such thing as a good government. That does not exist. They are all tyrannical. To say that they would stay within some kind of restraints is naive. Because they never have. Frederick Douglass talked about this, that the only, and this isn't my quote of the week, this is just something I know about. He said that the amount of tyranny that a government will do is the amount that the people are willing to put up with. And the American people right now are saying, you can lock us in our houses. You can make it to where we can't gather more than 10 people. And we can't talk the way we want to talk. You can do that. That's what the American people are saying to the United States government right now. That's what they're doing. Except they're not. How many people you know that are like, this is all bull? Why are they doing this? I'm not sick. What's going on? Sure, there are people freaking out. Sure, there are people hoarding toilet paper. Sure, there are people doing that. There's a lot of people that are like, this is all stupid. And they're destroying the economy. And when prices start rising and going through the roof and all the pain that this is going to cause comes to pass, more people are going to get upset. More people are going to get out in the streets. More people are going to take action and take thought and notice what caused this. A federal government that is out of control and needs to be reined back in at the very least. I would say it needs to be dissolved and returned to the states. We don't need this crap anymore. We don't need this government anymore. We are too good for this government, and it is time to finally free America. Let's get away from this centralized system. Let's get back to sanity of how to live our lives. Let's get back to a society based on voluntarism, based on being engaged in our communities based on love, based on mutual agreement, based on voluntary cooperation. We can get together and work together because we want to, because we have a vested interest in it, because it is the right thing to do. That's what we are moving towards. That's where we are going. And they know it, and they're trying everything they can do to hold us down. And they have gone too far. It may not be this year. It may not be 4 years from now. But this is going to change things. Because people are not going to put up with it. So, my quote for this week. And this is John Locke. And it is absolutely one of the truest things that can be said, in my opinion. He said, "But there is only one thing which gathers people into seditious commotion, and that is oppression." You own yourself. You are free. There is nothing to fear. Fear is just a way of controlling the masses. Fear is the tool of the state. Love is the salvation of the free. And I am free. Love you much. Thanks for watching. Stay free, stay safe, stay healthy. Have a good one. Stay free, my friends.